but about 40, 45 people showed up that first Sunday. And so we were real close to starting through the gate, but the reality was Stonewater actually started first. So in January of 2014, we started Stonewater, but we didn't take the first resident for through the gate till almost October. So when I started the church, I really wanted to do this differently. So it was real clear, and I made it real clear from the beginning to everybody that came that this was going to be a different kind of church. I mean, our church wasn't going to be a church that supports a, drug addiction program per se. This is going to be a church that this is who we are, And we had some early meetings. I'll never forget these things. We had some early meetings with that early congregation, and I actually warned them. I said, when Through the Gate opens its doors, I said, there's going to be spiritual warfare here. When you start working in the addiction community and you're bringing people out of the grips of some of the worst addiction and abuse, and also just out of the grips of evil, Satan gets pretty angry about that.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't really like that. And so I warned the church early on. I said, if you're going to be a part of Stonewater, you're going to have to know that it's going to be real. And then I also warned them. I said, you're going to have people coming into our church on Sunday mornings that aren't like what you think of as church people. These are going to be tattoos. These are going to be potentially language and the way they handle themselves because they don't know. They're brand new, We would get somebody come through the gate who was using heroin the day she showed up. And the next day she's in church.
Yeah.
So, so the church embraced that. It really did. It was amazing what God did in the heart of that little congregation. That they understood from day one that Through the Gate it's our heart. It's who we are. And so it's over the years, it's created a very unique congregation of young people. And it's not your semi-typical congregation, let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, it's rare in the world today that a church would be that open to the messiness of what you guys are doing. But what a joy for the church to share in that and to see these ladies, many coming out of prison. I mean, initially, that's kind of how you guys were going, right? You were taking ladies out of prison.
Yeah, initially when we decided to be a women's program, we were a women's reentry program. And we were taking women out of prison as they came, and that worked well. And then there was a point when God did a change. And I'll never forget it. The head of probation in our county called me. I remember getting off the phone and sitting here in my office, and I thought, God is sovereign here. If the head of probation in your county calls you and says, this woman's about to go to prison, why wouldn't we help?
Right.
And so I called her back, and I'm like, well, obviously we would take this girl in our program. There's just no doubt in my mind. And so we did. And it was just amazing because for whatever reason, the program we had put, the curriculum we had used, ended up seeming to work better for that than what we were doing. And that just opened the door to where we started getting calls. And eventually all around the state of Indiana, people started calling and saying, hey, I got this lady on probation, or we want to order this lady to your program. And it just took off. And now we really don't hardly have anybody reentry even apply anymore. It's almost always, young ladies who are about to head to prison. And then that kind of evolved to our reputation getting out there. And, we started getting people who weren't in legal trouble. They had just finally come to the end of themselves and reached out for help. And, so the program kind of switched directions a little bit, and it went well. It went real well.